Hey guys, and welcome to episode 2 of the LuxeCast. We sat down with another up and coming streamer. He plays Krunker, Rust Valheim, and he's also a DJ. Twitch.tv/SpaceCaseee. His link will be in the description down below. Hopefully, you guys enjoy this podcast. Leave a like and a comment down below, and subscribe for more content from the Lux Boys. We'll see you guys in the next one, and peace.
Are you good with anything in this podcast being animated, Space Case?
Oh, yeah, 100%. I don't care, man.
All right. Sorry.
Do I strike you as a man who is concerned about particulars in any way, shape, or form? I'm just happy to be here. But...
He said, yes.
Yes.
But yeah. Hello. Space Case.
Hello. Hey, what's up?
What's up with the name, dude? How'd you get that?
I'm an idiot.
Wow.
Actually, a Pepega brain. That's why I landed on that. Memory, shit.
Damn.
Able to learn things on the fly. Pretty bad. My entire life spent wondering what I'm supposed to do. Hence Space Case. So, yeah, that's where we landed on that. Yeah.
So much thought for someone who doesn't think, right?
Exactly. Oh my god, my cats are beating the shit out of each other right now.
They didn't like the
fight.
Space Case story. Damn.
I just
wasn't
heard
really much of a story. It was like an analogy.
Yeah, no.
yeah,
No, I heard
analogy for my life, man.
I heard
you
it
know
go
what I should say.
around.
Sorry.
It was a very interesting, aggressive meow.
Yeah. Just go through life with the dimmer switch on. It's working out. It's working out, man. No, honestly, I just was like, I landed on that very quickly, which I was happy about because I'm somebody who normally would take a really long time to pick like my name out, and that came very quickly. And I'm like, yeah, let's just go with that. I searched it up. I was like, yeah, there's no one using this right now, and it definitely fits. You can kind of build the whole brand off it. So, and I was already using it for music anyway, so I had like kind of that brand already in mind. I was gonna go.
I thought it was a lot deeper than that. I thought it was gonna be like, yo, it's because I was in the military, and when I was in the military, like A happened to B, and
I was just
I had
high,
a-
and I just came up with it, dude.
I had a
Dude, I just
dream
took some
one time.
LSD. I looked up. I was like, dude, I'm living in space.
I had all the
Holy-
mushrooms and looked right up, and I went, wow, Space
But nah,
Case.
he just
Definitely
he just had a
some-
word generator. It's all.
Basically.
yeah. What's good Twitch names? And I just clicked through it for an hour, and they landed on that. And I was like, yeah, that works. Perfectly describes me. Yeah, so that's pretty much where that came from.
Yeah,
Just
damn.
been kind of vibing with it ever since, and yeah, now it's just I wouldn't change it. I can't even think of rebranding. Why would I?
wouldn't change it for the world, dude.
It actually ended up fitting really well because I spent half my stream literally just being like,
What?
guys, like, what am I supposed to do here?
He's like, what do streamers do? I don't even know at this point. I'm just lost, dude.
It's just either it's gonna work or it's not gonna work at this point.
You're the streamer, man. You're supposed to know what to do.
I'm like, oh no, I need you all to guide me. I'm just here for the ride, bro.
Wait,
Dude, I'm
so-
just a backseat streamer. All right.
So he's a streamer now, but
Hell
what were
yeah.
you before a streamer? Huh?
Before I was a streamer,
Yeah.
my like main passion, like I was saying before, was definitely being put into DJing. So like, obviously, aside from like my full-time gig, my main passion was DJing. So I was doing a lot of DJing out at clubs, doing some events, doing like festivals and outdoor parties and house parties, and of course quarantine rolled around and kind of kiboshed that whole entire fucking industry. That whole scene is on pause right now. So I was like, what other passion of mine can I attempt to monetize? Because that was the first one that I was kind of just doing for fun. And then I was like, man, why don't I just go and try to get into a club? And I was like, that's really kind of like what I want to do anyway. So I did it.
Damn, so that's also your like, passion as well still. So when things when things settle down, that may be where you kind of try and get back into that scene.
100%. Like if the club that I was DJing at regularly went out of business. So hopefully somebody takes that up. Again, that's going to be the fate of a lot of places like that, I think this year especially is going to be really hard on them. But yeah, definitely missing having that night. Like it was only normally like once or twice a month that I was playing out at a club, but I was like, you'd go for like 5 or 6 hours, really looking forward to that like all month. You'd get your set ready and stuff, and having that no longer be a thing is definitely, it left a bit of a void for, is like, okay, so what do I want to work towards right now? So I was landed on streaming, and originally I was like, I want to take my DJing to Twitch, and it was only until recently that I actually had the equipment to make that happen. So that felt really good to be able to bring that passion onto Twitch. Was like a fucking really awesome feeling. But yeah, so that's pretty much is just another passion of mine that I
I didn't
decided
even
to try to
know
monetize.
you sent me your other your Instagram, and I was like, damn, what's with all the DJ equipment? and then I think I screenshotted it, sent it to the Volantiss. I was like, you know, SpaceCaseee is a DJ.
Yeah,
I was like, did not strike me as a DJ.
Yeah, and I was a DJ for a lot longer. Like I've been playing music my whole life, so it was like kind of like I started off playing in, like when I was in high school, I was playing in bands, doing a lot of like solo stuff at coffee shops and bars, like playing guitar and singing or whatever, because like I do that as well. So I kind of grew up doing that, and then I kind of got into the DJing. I think I was about 21 or 22 years old. I'd been around it before, obviously. Like I've been out at parties and stuff, and the first time I actually seen it, I was just at a friend's house, and he was doing it, and I never even really understood what it was that was happening when somebody was DJing. And I actually was like, I stood behind him and I watched what he was doing, and I'm like, okay, so this is like, you're doing a lot more than just like press and play, and like like, you know, obviously you make it sound sweet. I'm like, how are you doing this? And as he was doing like everything, he was explaining it to me, and I was immediately like,
Are you sure it's not just like, it's not this?
It's not just this. No. Yeah, honestly,
all that
yeah.
was.
What is
No,
the difference between DJing and being an audio technician?
I mean, so a DJ is literally somebody who's like front and center. Like, I feel like an audio technician is more behind the scenes. So you have like when somebody's DJing, they're on stage and they're manipulating you know, sound waves through their mixer. It's coming out the speakers, but behind that, generally, especially at a higher production event, you have an audio technician who's, you know, sitting back there with the lights guys and stuff, tweaking, like fine tuning everything, fine tuning all levels, making sure that, you know, everything is good on their end. So I feel like it's just more so fine tuning. I'm not as like, I don't really know a whole lot about like what the audio technician actually is doing, but I mean,
I think I know the answer. One fist bumps for hours, and
100%.
the other one actually works.
Yeah,
No?
100%. 100%. Just back there fist bumping. He's actually like really
this.
the hype man. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's doing
hold on.
He's just got the best seat in the house. That's all.
The audio technician sitting back there, and when you put on a song that's dog shit, he's just there like,
Yeah.
cut it.
Get it out.
Next one. Get that out. Like no, honestly, so your audio technician is also sitting front stage, so he's gonna get like a much better sound of what's coming out of the speakers, whereas like the DJ normally just has like a monitor next to him, so what I'm hearing isn't necessarily what everybody else in the room or field or wherever you're DJing is gonna hear. So yeah.
So you're like listening to stuff like, man, this shit sounds fire, and the audience is like, is he gonna play the music yet?
Yeah, like as well, it's just like a lot of times, like it's like even with streaming, right? Like if your levels are, if you're clipping at all, it's gonna sound like dog shit, or you know, if your bass is distorted. So that's kind of where that comes in. And then it's not really a problem normally. They have everything preset, but if you're somebody who's
How was the DJ scene in Newfoundland?
So okay. So I wasn't.
Wow.
I was
City of 20.
I was not a DJ. So I was playing in bands and coffee shops and shit when I was in Newfoundland. Yeah,
Down on the harbor.
More in the kitchen party scene when I was in Newfoundland. I didn't even know. Like again, I'd seen DJs. There's probably like one or two like actual like people that would call themselves like what you think of as a DJ. Most DJs in Newfoundland are like playing weddings and shit. Like they just have like a
God.
they have like a
See,
CD player.
me and
Or,
you
like,
I got this tattoo in Newfoundland.
nice,
So I mean, we're brothers basically.
basically.
I got a tattoo of a fish. You're from there. Come on, we're practically related.
Basically.
You're a DJ. You play music. I enjoy listening to music.
You know what's the funny part about this? I also like listening to music, so that we're practically triplets.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
like
right.
come on, like
Pretty
brothers.
much, you
What's
might as well
up?
just change your last name, man.
But no, back to like
Oh,
the
yeah.
the audio technician part. I think like the decent way to summarize it is like the audio technician deals more with the sound itself, and the DJ deals with the music sound.
Yeah. Well, and you're actually the one who's like pick track selection, and
Right.
you're pretty much doing like the heavy lifting, and then
I think
the
that's what
stuff.
it means.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the stuff behind the scenes. Yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, to sum it all up, I definitely miss it. Like being in front of a live crowd. Um, it's really hard to explain. That's probably the best part about it. Is like, yeah, you can get in the zone. It's like playing, live music to anybody, whether you're picking up a guitar and singing, and everybody in the room is just, singing along with you. Well, it's no different when you're DJing and you've got a room or a field full of people, and you're literally like you're like the mood technician. So you really
Yeah.
can dictate how people are dancing, how they're feeling. You want them to start jumping up and down. Do you want them to like slow it down and like just go crazy? Like it's in your hands. And yeah, so you really you really have a lot of power, I feel like, especially, you know, when you're dealing with people, a bunch of people who are literally there for the purpose to have a good time. It's an awesome feeling. It's fucking sweet.
What was
So.
the journey like? Was it it was what, kitchen parties, DJ, military, streaming?
Nope.
How'd that go?
It's
Just
kitchen
to put it
part
into
like
a
well, I've been
on a
playing music since so I've been playing music since I was like, I don't know, probably like 10 years old. I started off playing piano. I barely even remember how to play piano now, but I was really good at piano when I was a kid. Like I was like
There's
classically
like
trained.
videos of you like Justin Bieber, like when he was on the drums.
No,
But, like
That's fucking
Yeah,
hilarious.
jamming
Have
on
you
the
seen
piano.
that video? Has
Hard,
anyone seen
man.
that?
Hey,
Oh my
and then you
God.
got like a millionaire saying, "Yeah, I want him to be on my record label," but the entire time it's just him jacking off to this 16-year-old kid, also known as
But-
SpaceCaseee.
That's another story
Yeah.
though. Another time.
Yeah,
You
no,
want to tell us something, Repttars?
got some deep secrets about your past there that we're unlocking, or what?
So
I mean, you
he
clearly
was
have
good
an
at
interest in
piano.
music.
He was good at piano, and then what?
Change the topic swiftly.
Continue.
Yeah, so like I probably could have been really good at piano, but I was basically being taught all music that I never wanted to play, and I think that contributed a lot to me just dropping it. And my view with any kind of instrument now is like I have a daughter. I'm going to teach her to play instruments, but for every 2 songs that I tell her to play, I'm going to ask her like, what do you want to play? Like, what's the song that you want to play? And it doesn't matter if I don't like care for her to learn that song. That should be like one of the most important things. Cause I honestly just lost interest in it. Cause it's like, oh, like I really want to play some like, like Outcast, like just something with like a bit of a bop to it. And oh no, we're playing Beethoven. Like you're not playing Outcast. Like, so I just lost interest in that. I picked the guitar up. My dad's like my whole family's pretty musical, but my dad's like he's like an Irish musician, and like he grew up playing, so he bought me a guitar, and I picked that up, started playing in bands, doing the solo thing, started singing. I played like lead guitar in a band before I started being comfortable enough to sing in front of people.
It's tough.
But as soon as I graduated high school and I went out and I seen, oh my God, like I can go into a bar and play a guitar in front of all these people, and like girls will think I'm cute because I got this guitar in my lap, right? So
And
yeah,
so imagine, what did you do?
yeah, that's one hard.
So is it fair to say that you would choose the bard class in a D&D session?
I think I could definitely be a good bard, 100%. I like telling stories and shit too. So yeah, no, I'm music's definitely been like one of the driving factors for me. Just it's always like I've spent so many nights at like a party, and I've actually just noticed recently that I need to remove myself from like getting in the zone too much because I can honestly remember so many nights where I would just be like mixing at a party for like 4 or 5 hours straight. This is like before I was really playing for anybody, just my friends. It's kind of how I got good. Was I was just getting the zone and like I'd look up and it'd be like 2 a.m.
Jeez,
Everybody
yeah.
else is like going home, and I didn't even talk to anybody because I was just in the room, just
Still
setting the
mixing.
vibe. And yeah, so I just kind of recently realized I'm like, man, I gotta stop doing that. Like, I gotta cut down on the like 4 or 5 hour long mixes, if unless that's the purpose for me being there.
That
Yeah,
must have
But
like
yeah,
streaming on Twitch, like streaming your DJing sessions on Twitch must have been a massive change, right? Where you're not really getting like
yeah.
expression feedback.
I was actually surprised because like you're still getting it, and like whereas when you're doing a game stream, you don't want to like have people spamming shit all the time. Like when I'm doing like a music stream, like go to town. You know what I mean? Like go as crazy with that as you want. Like so you're still getting it. It's not the same though. Like
Yeah.
the fate they just the interactions and like the shit you see when you're DJing, man. Like I've got some stories. Like like
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
feel free to
go
tell them.
for it.
Give us one or
all
two.
right, all right. Well,
It's
like
been
I did
Go
a
ahead.
they did a pub crawl here. What the fuck is that called? Bunny hop. I don't know if you guys ever heard of it. It goes around, but anyway, the bunny hop is like a pub, like it's a worldwide pub crawl event or whatever. So my first time playing a bunny hop, it was at Boom nightclub. Shout out Boom nightclub. It's closed now, by the way. That's that's
Was that really a shout out?
yeah.
Hashtag ad, but they don't exist.
Rip, rip. Good times, honestly. Like that place was sick because they let you play whatever you wanted. But
Nice.
I was like, yeah, how many people are gonna be there? And the guy's like, oh, don't worry about it. You know, man, like it's Fredericton. Like there's not gonna be that many people here. And yeah, like I showed up late. I remember I was supposed to start at 7:30 and I rolled in there at like 25 after, and I was like in a big rush. And as I was driving down, I seen like a lineup of people like going up the block, and then it turned and it was going towards the bar. I'm like, holy shit. Like so we took I think it was like 800 people through the door like within the first hour, and it's a pub crawl, so they're just rolling through, getting their
Mhm.
On
drinks,
to the next one.
And
going to
heading
the
out.
next
Yeah,
one.
heading out.
And man, this shit was like spring break. So one of the big like the craziest stories that I've seen was basically like I'm up in my it's like an elevated booth or whatever. I I was in the booth and I'm mixing. This girl climbed because I took my ladder up. She got on her buddy's shoulders and she climbed up in the booth and crawled underneath the table. Like, because I'm like
DJ
so
table.
into it at the DJ table, and I don't know
Oh
like
my.
how long she was sitting down there because I literally bent down to like adjust one of the speaker levels, and this bitch is down here smoking a fucking doobie underneath underneath that.
Oh
It
my
frightened the
God.
shit out of me. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what are you doing down here? And then I'll never forget it, man. She just looked up at me, and then she's like, pass it up to me, and I looked up, man, and I was like, I just went on the mic. I was like, can somebody come and get their friend? Like, I've got a lost child here in the DJ booth. Like,
Damn.
a lot of topless women, like a lot, like that. That goes without saying. Those kinds of things. I wasn't expecting that for, especially on like the east coast of Canada. Like, I was like, man,
It's cold.
it's
Mhm.
cold. And then there were just a lot of girls on people's shoulders taking their shirts off, and they had like water guns and shit. And then this is in like November too, so
Yeah, they
they
do
It's
free
like
concerts on
yeah,
PEI.
they
yeah,
very well
yeah.
know they're walking out and it's freezing outside.
Oh, 100%. They're all soaking wet and shit.
Yeah.
And yeah, you see a lot of people who like you're sitting there and you see this guy who's got absolutely no game, just trying all night and just striking out all night. And eventually you'll just see him like he'll settle. He'll either just go to the bar and sit there, or he'll find the most unattractive human being in that entire room and just commit his entire effort to it, and then sometimes it pays off. But yeah, everything, man. Like a lot of different types of people. I mean, it's a lot like streaming. You get the same kinds of requests all the time. Every girl's got their birthday, so they always come up drunk as shit, and they're just like,
So they want you to send link.
Yeah, I was about to say that
Is it
exact
Vince?
line. They want you
Yeah.
to
Or
send
like,
link, or they
I
and
wanna
unfollow
song
you?
request. Song request. Do you play any Lady Gaga? Do you play any Pink? Like,
Oh,
it's my
God.
birthday. Like,
you
yeah, it's
ever
every.
wanna be one you?
I don't even listen to it. Honestly, you get so good at ignoring it. I actually would just like have a friend normally that I'd bring up it with me. Every time there was like I knew it was gonna be crazy, I'd have to bring somebody with me because I just couldn't deal with it. It was just so frequent. And the girls aren't so bad because if you would ignore them, they would just go on with their day, call you an idiot. But
Yeah,
you'd get some drunk asshole who wanted a song played.
that'd be
And
me.
when you were ignoring him, it'd just be smashing on the booth. Hey, hey, I want Sandstorm. I want Sandstorm. Play my song right now. If you don't play Sandstorm, I'm fucking leaving. Like, all right, go leave. I don't care. Get out of
Bye.
here. Like,
Dang.
I was.
But-
I
What's
was
the
that guy.
What's the
what?
craziest shit you've seen?
The craziest shit that I've seen. Well, how crazy are we allowed to get here? Because
okay.
I played some
Go
some
nuts.
festivals and shit. I
Yeah,
played some festivals and shit.
To give you context, the previous podcast, spoiler alert, by the way, if you haven't watched that, Mish spoke about how when he was having a one night stand with a certain somebody, he got peed on. So you can get as crazy as you want, dude.
Okay, just setting the
It
parameters.
was also animated. It was also animated. So if you don't want to watch the full podcast, feel free to watch the animated version.
Okay, all right, bet.
Part 2 is coming out soon.
Sweet. All right, so I'll hit you with a. Let me just think for a second here, because I've done again. The thing is like I'm generally pretty focused, but you tend to see some things that's like you just can't unsee them. So I was playing we did an outdoor event here 2 summers ago called Thatch Island, and everybody there was tripping balls. Like there was not a single person there that wasn't tripping balls, except for me, because honestly, I can't. So here's the thing: when I DJ or like when I stream, is the same thing. I've listened back to myself on various substances, on various different highs and lows, and listened to myself like recorded to see how it sounds. And the one that I like the most and the one that sounds the best is when I'm sober. Like 100%. I'm like,
I wanna see
okay,
the
so
test results, so I wanna see what
well, because again, a lot of the times you think you're doing awesome.
LSD. This is SpaceCaseee.
I was about to say, I want to see the sample size. I want to hear this now.
You don't, because honestly, like I listened to it back, and there would be times where I'd be playing, and like I'd get stuck on a track, and I'd put it on loop, and it would just stay there forever. And I'm like, man, when am I gonna change this song? Like, like when I'm listening to it back, but at the time, I'm like, oh yeah, this is sweet. And honestly, people there were probably vibing to it because they didn't, they were just into it. And a lot of times, if there's a song that you can tell people are really feeling, you want to play it for a little longer, right? So you don't want to rush it. So
I feel like if people could listen to Kanye West poopity scoop for 4 hours straight, I'm pretty sure you can nail anything at a club if people are stoned enough.
Scoop?
oh, 100%.
Scoop-diddy-woo.
You just get less people that are tripping balls out of their mind at a club, and that's the thing. Like, so festivals are honestly the funnest because you really get people that are there just vibing out really, really hard. And okay, so the craziest shit that I ever seen is we're playing this Thatch Island thing. It's right on the river, so like around Fredericton you're right next to the St. John, and where we did it was actually right on the St. John River on this little like spit of grass. It was actually like one of the sickest nights I've ever been DJing. It was like a full moon. We're literally right on the river. We had like these tiki torches lit everywhere and a big bonfire going, and like
You can see the pictures that was on your Instagram.
yeah,
right?
it was on Instagram. Yeah, so it really packed up at around midnight. We got about 100 people, and they have like drag races down this strip where we were having this thing. It's out just outside of where I live in Oromocto. So they're having drag races on the strip, and a bunch of the people from the drag race, which were like a bunch of hillbillies, man, they seen this shit happening, and they all came in on their like boats and shit. Like they were having like it's around the river. You get a lot of people that were stopping into the event on their boats, and we had this guy show up who was just absolutely hammered, like and he was definitely on something else too, because this man couldn't even like stand. He couldn't even stand. He was sitting in the middle of the dance floor all night. And I just remember his girlfriend or whatever was like shaking him, trying to get him up. Like, we got to go home. We got to go home. This guy had a speedboat parked there, and I'm DJing, and I watch this guy get up. He wobbles over to his boat, and he gets in the boat. And honest to God, so you have your river like this. This guy was going back and forth and smashing into the sides of the riverbank over and over again. Just he would get in and just and it was like soft, like grassy, like riverbank. So it wasn't beating his boat up or anything, but it's just, he was just bogging out. And like his woman was in the front seat screaming bloody murder the whole time. So like every time he'd be going, like freaking out, going back and forth for like 20 minutes, and I'm like, does nobody else see this? Like, I'm the sober one here. Like, what the fuck is going on? And like, the cops showed up in a boat. Like, like somebody must have called on him. And like, the guy literally sees the lights come on the boat. He looks at the boat, and then he just jumps off. Like, the boat's still in like drive going against. Like, he just jumps off his boat and starts swimming. I'm like, holy fuck, man! Like. And everybody there was like on the riverbank at this point, just like cheering this guy on. Like, don't encourage this man. Like, what are you doing?
Dude's crazy. He needs help.
Yeah, it was something else.
Cops would have been like, "Sir, is this your boat?" You're like, "What boat? It's not my boat."
I was swimming. Didn't you see me? That woman was on the boat. I don't know her. She was screaming.
Oh man, it was actually hilarious, and like I got really distracting after a certain point. I'm like, is this guy gonna like figure it out? Like, he's trying to drive in the dark for one in a boat with no lights on it. So
no.
Sounds like
it
sounds
about yeah. It was a really, really crazy night, honestly. You get a lot of people, like I said, they're on whatever they're on, and they're, you know, tripping balls. And of course, you'd think that, oh man, these guys are all going crazy. Like, for the most part, you won't even really notice it. Yeah, I'm actually a huge advocate for all things like psychedelic, because I honestly believe like you'll have way more problems with a group of people that are drunk as fuck than you will with a bunch of people who are just doing some shrooms and like just dancing and shit. Like, you really won't have
each other up as much.
Yeah,
that's where you and I definitely agree. I'm all for that stuff too.
Yeah,
especially like in Colorado. It's like, oh, I'm all for it.
Yeah, 100%, man. Like, I think that I know my missus takes it as like a substitute for anxiety medication. So it's just like a microdose. So obviously not like tripping balls every day, but taking like a small amount. Taking us. Yeah, exactly. Just you know, a small amount every now and then, man, really would level her out. It would.
Did you ever see that clip of Mike Tyson on the Impulsive podcast where he took a handful of
mushrooms and just stuffed it in his gob and just swallowed
I trained
it,
on
dude.
this. It's like,
yeah, homie just
weed,
fucking like, hoovered it, dude. Like, it wasn't even there.
He's an animal.
Dude,
he's an animal.
Shit out of me, man.
Well, don't do drugs, kids.
Yeah, don't do drugs.
If you're
not condoning, but if you're gonna use them, I mean, do psychedelics, because they're the least harmless or the least harmful. Sorry,
Jesus Christ,
they're the least harmless. Like, they will do the most damage. That's pretty bad for you. But LSD,
yeah, no.
Is weed considered a psychedelic or just so? It is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Right.
Well, so it depends. Like, if you're smoking it, it isn't, but it has psychedelic properties when you use it in the form of like an edible or whatever, right? So
okay. So the way I take it. All right, gotcha.
Yeah. So if it metabolizes through your liver, then it's a psychedelic.
Is your burn
like it has psychedelic properties? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Oh, I have a very important question for you.
Yes.
Why do you stream at 720p 30?
Because my kid's in bed at 7:10. It's pretty much what.
I think he means your stream quality. Am I
Oh,
wrong?
Yeah.
why do I
So
stream at
Yeah.
720p?
1080, 60.
Dude, I was
I don't
so
know.
I'm so glad you cleared that up. I was so
Yeah.
fucking confused.
Yeah, it's
I went,
7:30.
wait a
Yeah,
minute.
exact time.
Wait a
Okay,
minute.
all right, sorry. See, Space Case
Time zone, see, so
Space is
And
he's
I-
on psychedelics now.
went right over my head. Yeah, no. So I did
720p.
720p when I was streaming Apex when I started because I wanted like it would lag the stream if I would go to 1080. And I just never I just tried it on 1080 honestly. After that I just left it at 720 and that's pretty much where I've been. And I just like, you know, guaranteed quality depending on what I'm playing. Sometimes you'll get a bit of a stutter and yeah, honestly, I could probably, especially doing Crunker, I could probably do 1080 for sure. But yeah,
Little fun fact for you. Did you know you could do 420p at 60 FPS?
really.
Yeah. Tingu, a buddy of ours who's also in Lux, he does that sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess it's
So-
not really, it's not required. I guess if you know, and that's the other thing. Like when I'm in overlay, like my cam is so small, so I don't really see the point of streaming in 1080 if you can't see anything anyway. The only time you really notice it is when I go to full screen, right? So
Mhm.
yeah. But yeah, that's a good point. I should actually look into that because I just honestly I haven't really messed with it in so long. Those settings have just been there for a long time, and yeah, I should try a 1080 stream, see how that would go.
Do a 1080, 60 Crunker stream to get the most out of your, you know,
You need that high,
quality.
high definition beard, man. It needs to be a thing.
Tell me
Beard is
more
live.
about your stream though.
High
Like, how'd you
definition beard, dude.
HD beard. Like, how did you
HD beard.
stumble? What was the first game you streamed on Twitch? Was it Crunker? Like, how
Apex.
new are you to? It was
Apex.
Apex. Like, how new
Apex.
to streaming are you? How long have you been doing it for?
So I started streaming basically when the lockdown started last March.
Oh, wow.
So,
Okay.
2020 is when
Yeah.
you started.
Yeah, that's when I started. Yeah. So haven't been really doing it that long. Like we pretty much started with Apex and of course like I wasn't getting very much growth there because it's Apex. It's just super saturated, but
Yeah.
I liked playing Apex. I had a lot of fun with it. And then I just basically was recommended by one of the guys who I found through streaming Apex, one of the guys that did come in. He just recommended it to me. He had a friend who was playing with Apex with us at the time, and I didn't even realize, but he ended up he was one of like the OGs of like streaming Crunker. He doesn't even at that point he had already stopped. He hadn't been doing it for a long time, but Trippin was his name and Australian guy, and he set me up, gave me like all the settings and stuff, stream settings or whatever. He's like, okay, like this is what you want. Like just go in here. It's like be consistent, and you'll experience a lot more growth. And honestly, the truth is, Crunker is excellent for growth. I've met a lot of really cool people. Of course, you know, getting around all the children screaming check trades and spamming, you know, send link or whatever. There's definitely a good crew of people that I've met, especially the CCs, the other content creators within that category are pretty awesome people. So yeah, so that's pretty much where I started with that. I started with Apex. I was doing a bit of Sea of Thieves, and around the summertime last year is when I started streaming Crunker, and I just really liked as well as how involved the developers of the game, all two of them, two or three guys sitting in an apartment, how involved they are with their community and just being in streams. Like they spend a lot of time supporting their content creators and asking them what it is that they want out of the game. And yeah, like that kind of made that a goal at that point. I was like, okay, so I'll get my verification status with this game or whatever. And it didn't take me that long to do. It's just, you know, consistent content. And yeah, I don't know. I enjoy it. It's not the worst thing. Like I definitely, there's nights where I'm like, yeah, obviously I want to play something different, but it could be worse. Like I definitely think that once you get past some of the bots in lobbies spamming just pointless shit. But I 100, yeah, man, 100%.
It's every game too. It's not just that one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I had it when I played Apex and Sea of Thieves too, right? It's just like even when I'm doing like a DJ stream and there's just people just talking about bullshit, I'm just like I'm reading it, and I don't have to respond to it, which is awesome about DJing because I don't have to say shit. I'm literally just doing my thing, and I can like when I want to address somebody who like gifted a sub or something, I can just pop on and say, "Yo, thank you so much," or whatever. But other than that, I don't have to say a fucking word to anybody, which I do. I kind of enjoy that about those. But
Dude, I'm busy.
yeah,
We're not conquered right now.
Yeah, it's like the best
Be
ones are.
one of-
Sorry.
No, you go ahead.
It was like the best ones are the ones that catch you on a stream that you're clearly not doing. So if you're doing music, they'll be in your chat spamming. Check Conquer Trades. Like, dude, how do you expect me to do that right now? Like,
Do it now.
how?
Do it now, right now.
Could you imagine? It's like you're like midway through, like almost to the drop. You're like, are you guys ready? Check trade. All right, hold on. I'm gonna pause on the drop.
are you playing
Right.
Crunker tonight? Are you playing Crunker this evening? Like, no, man. I'm literally like, what the fuck are you talking about? Of course I'm not playing Crunker tonight.
Something like, hey, bye then.
Yeah,
Yeah,
basically.
okay.
Okay, later, dude.
yeah. No, I got a lot of love for the real viewers that actually like, and of course you'll take a dip anytime you do something different, but
yeah.
I've noticed like, you know, you're it's slowly building, but I'm at that point now where I've got that 15 viewers. Oh my, you hear my cat?
Yeah, they're going off again.
Yeah, he'll make all kinds of noise, man. He's calling out to his buddy right now. But yeah, anyway, you'll get all kinds of people that are coming in there just for like giveaways and shit. But at the same time, now I'm at that point where I have like that solid like 15 people that are in there every single night. Doesn't matter what I'm doing. So that's good. That's awesome. And I gain maybe one of those a month. So, you know, one or two, like, I don't know, it depends. Some months are better than others, but those are the kind of viewers that, you know, you're looking for really, are the ones that you're there and you kind of get to know them and get
Just
to
consistent.
Yeah, more than just a number or like a bunch of
Yeah.
numbers, 100%.
exactly. Yeah. And the CC community is definitely really supportive of everybody else. So I as well try to spend a lot of time in other people's streams throughout the day. I know my missus is definitely tired of it. Like, why are you on your phone? I'm working. Like, I'm networking right now. Like, if I'm just sitting around, generally I'm just in somebody's stream, just shooting the shit with them because why not?
That too.
True.
Yeah.
Fun too. It keeps you busy. What else are you gonna do beyond TikTok, Instagram? Like, I mean, everyone's so involved with their phones now. Like, what would you rather?
That's the world, now, man. Yeah.
You gotta support to be supported. 100%.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's also incredible how many platforms we actually have to utilize to grow our where we are. Like you have TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, fucking Bumble if you want to. It's like we have all these different avenues
Tinder.
to take.
OnlyFans.
Which, by the way, fun fact,
true,
I actually have a Tinder where I actually advertise my Twitch and YouTube channel.
Bro,
so every night before I go to bed, it's like I do a really nice pickup line that I get from the internet, and it's like, oh, if you like that, if you want to see more content, check out.
That's actually
That's fucking.
Then I put my link tree in. Yeah.
Smart ass,
dude.
Smart ass.
Dude, I've gotten a few subscribers. I also gotten a few like hate mail from it too. Like people
I don't think I'd be able to.
Hate mail. No, like I had people literally go to my email that I have attached to my I think my Twitter or my Instagram. I have a business email there, and I would literally sometimes get emails saying, "You messaged me on Tinder or I messaged you on Bumble." It's like, "Fuck you, eat your family." I had one person tell me I'm gonna kill your hamster. I don't have a hamster. Where are you gonna get a hamster from?
Maybe he's gonna give you a hamster
and then kill it. Yeah, basically.
I'm just gonna have this like really good friendship. It's like here's a hamster. 5 years down the line,
now
like,
it's dead, bitch.
I got something to tell you.
How dare you waste
Tinder?
How dare you waste 5 seconds of my life when I was swiping through Tinder?
I was about to say
you're advertising your Twitch. Like,
if you're on fucking Tinder, you've got 5 seconds, dude. I'm sorry, but
yeah, 100%. Oh man,
Tinder SpaceCase instead of Twitch.
I don't think I'd be able to sell it. I think my missus would definitely be a little bit suspicious. Even you have Tinder to advertise your Twitch?
Oh,
okay,
God.
all right.
That would not go down well. I'll be honest. That is not the one.
Hey, do you have an Apple phone?
No.
No,
I was about to say
nobody
Apple
has
has.
an Apple
That's true. I was about to say Apple has introduced a feature where you can disguise an app now. Do you know how fucking dumb that is? To disguise an app.
That's nuts, dude.
Oh
I
yeah,
know,
no,
it's really
I've
dumb.
seen that. Yeah, I've seen that actually. Yeah.
It's so weird. It's like that's also like I
Like change the
but
icon on it, right? And you
why?
can rename it, change
Yeah,
the
you can
icon
change the
on it.
icon and name. Yeah.
Those have been
Also,
around for a while though, like fake apps. I know my buddy had a calculator app that was just like a folder to put pictures in. That's where
Oh
he'd
my
store like
God.
all his nudes and shit.
Jesus
how you're
Christ.
driving down the road and your girlfriend's like, you're like, can you look something up for me? What's like 52 times
And
5,000?
he's like nowhere in the room. She's like, "Oh, don't worry, I'll grab your calculator and just do it."
Oh, this calculator plus. Like, what's so
Yeah.
plus about it?
Yeah, I was about to say.
Well-
Something special about this one or what?
Oh,
Dude, all I'm gonna say is if I had something like that on my phone, I wouldn't use it for nudes. I'll use it for like CS:GO strategies or Valorant strategies and be fucking nerding out on. It's like I can't show my addiction to video games, so why would they do this?
Yeah.
Hey, you guys are also talking to a dungeon master here, all right? I'm a fucking
yeah?
nerd. Yeah.
No, I
love D&D.
actually just tried D&D for the first time right at the end of the summer, like last summer.
yeah?
I tried it for the first time and it was fun, man. I was like, yeah,
Dude,
this is cool.
D&D
If you get
is
a good
slept
DM,
on.
if you get a good DM, it's actually pretty entertaining. And we have
Mhm.
we have one of the most like charismatic people I've ever seen. And like as soon as I heard, they're like, yes, okay. I never knew what it was again. Just growing up, not many people in Newfoundland were playing it. Or if they were, they weren't talking. They
You
weren't
mean
talking.
out of the 20, nobody played it? Wow.
Yeah, no, it wasn't huge where I was growing up, but I was definitely like among the nerdier of my friends growing up. Like I was watching Lord of the Rings like every weekend. Like I
Dude,
watched that
that was
trilogy
great.
literally almost every weekend when I
That
was
was
taboo
great.
in Newfoundland.
Dude, it's so
yeah.
good.
Well,
Lord of the
shit,
Rings
it
is
is,
so good.
man. Yeah, what are you talking about? What do you mean you're watching Lord of the Rings? They wear funny clothes and use
They're
weird words.
short. They're short.
Why do they have hairy feet?
My
Why?
cousin literally won't watch movies where people like if he sees a horse in a movie or if like cowboys, for example, or like anything like actually accurate. He says like I don't like watching shit that's not realistic or not real. I'm like, dude, they actually
History, man.
were shit like that.
History.
This is history. And he's like, nope. As soon as I see fucking weird hats or horses,
Real.
I'm done. It's over. Like I'm like, oh my
Ain't
god,
real,
they didn't-
ain't real unless I seen it. It ain't real
what
unless
do
I
you
seen
mean?
it.
This
Oh,
man
yeah.
sounds like he'd like be confused when he sees a boiler hat on a police officer in a western movie.
Yeah,
It's like,
100%.
why are there bucket hats? What are they doing?
He wouldn't even ask that question. He wouldn't even ask that question.
He'd just
be
switch.
like,
Switch it off.
nope. Yeah.
Click it off. I'm going to
He's
watch
missing
Jerry
out.
Springer. I'm done.
Yeah. Why is that guy
I'm gonna
wearing a
watch the
top
real
hat?
stuff.
Why
is that
guy
girl
wearing
got
a
a
shirt?
fake dress on? This is weird. This is weird. We're turning this off. Like, man, Mike, this is literally how people used to dress.
Mhm.
No.
Like
Nah,
that's a literal tunic.
I don't believe you.
Yeah.
Turmeric? That's a spice.
It's so
That
weird.
isn't
man.
clothing.
But yeah, anyway, what I was
Dude.
saying about D&D was like,
Yeah.
we got
How
got
did we get there from D&D?
Yeah,
It's
we
awesome
went from D&D to turmeric and tunics.
Yeah. So going back to Crunker, I'm just kidding. We got all the way
What
from
are
there
your
to-
thoughts on slide hopping?
Oh man.
It's a skill in itself, my dude.
Mm.
we get into the questions of the where do you see yourself in a year? Like,
I hate those
Oh.
questions, dude.
I hate them, but I think like
you had mentioned you were setting some goals, right? So
yeah, I think that it's definitely possible for me, just at the rate that I'm growing currently. I think it's possible for me to hit partner numbers by this time next year if I'm like actually being consistent. If for the next year it's all just consistency. If I just continue being consistent, now not to say that something might come up within a year where I'm gonna have to take a step back for a little bit because I do have a full-time job, which I'm like I have to become more involved with now because I'm probably going to get promoted here very shortly. and I'm taking much more of a
Hands-on.
instructor role as opposed to, and so it's a lot more hours required, like long hours, like early mornings, late nights, going in on the weekends to to help these guys out and teach them shit. So
Tell them
I'm
that you're kind of a big deal, that you're like a Twitch streamer and that you can't do that shit.
yeah,
Oh.
guys, I can't come in tonight. I got to stream. Like,
Plus, are
you can
you
have-
are you are you working remotely? I think you are, right?
No, we're firing on all cylinders right now. We have been
Oh,
for a
wow.
while. We just work with like the COVID protocols or whatever, right? So,
Oh yeah.
but yeah, but basically, yeah, in a year's time, I think that it's definitely possible for me to be hitting partner numbers now.
Schedules are getting important as well. At least for
Yeah.
me, like you're gonna need to, figure out what you're gonna do 3 days a week, 2,
Yep.
4, 6. But you
Yeah.
need to figure it out and stick to it. I'm gonna start doing that.
Yeah, well, that's what I've been doing now for the past like 3 weeks. Like I said, I had to cut back. I think I talked to you guys about this, but I was doing every day except for
Mhm.
Sunday,
Yeah.
I think. And I just like I couldn't maintain it. I couldn't have a social life. I wasn't doing anything else. I was like, all right, so 3 days a week, and then like
Avoid the burnout.
Yeah, just to avoid the burnout. You're looking forward to it, and like yeah, I might stream a little longer than I was before on those 3 days, but you go into it with a lot more energy. I like actually have time to come up with like a plan, something I want to do, like kind of a theme. So I think I've been loving it. I think that I haven't noticed any. If anything, I've noticed actually better growth since I got down to like a consistent schedule. And even though it's only 3 days, the people know, they're starting to figure it out now. Like, okay, this is when he streams. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
it's a big thing, and they don't miss it. You think everything's gonna fall apart in a day, but
Yeah.
there's so many people to watch on Twitch. They're
Oh.
just gonna click the next guy, and they're gonna forget
Yeah.
about you. Like, obviously, it's nice when you're on, but
Yep.
like when you're not on,
Oh, they're on somebody else. Exactly.
Yeah.
like they're not. Half the people aren't gonna ask you where you were yesterday. Few
Yeah,
might.
Yeah.
You're
I
close,
have a
but
lot of guys who, they're a viewer in my stream, but they're a mod in somebody else's stream, and other, VIP in this other guy's stream. So like, I don't know. Obviously, I don't like expect anyone to be like, okay, you need to show up to this stream. Like, I get it,
Mhm.
man. If you have modding duties in somebody else's stream, he goes live. Like, peace out, thanks for coming. Like, I understand.
Yeah.
But yeah, and especially in small communities, that's bound to happen, right? You're gonna get that crossover, but there's enough viewers to go around. Like, and I feel like a lot of those small communities do a really good job. I know, like for Crunker, they do a really good job of keeping the views for Crunker within Crunker. So everybody just raids within the category.
Yeah.
Keep the viewers local. So which really helps with, again, the growth. And you get to that point now, like most of the time when I go into somebody's stream, they've at least heard of me or seen like a clip of me or something, so they kind of are already tracking that that I'm a CC for within the game, which is that's cool. It's definitely good in that way, right? But
you're infamous.
Yeah.
infamous,
Kinda
yeah.
famous.
Yeah.
We've been trolling a lot of people lately. That's something we started doing, just like not really trolling, but like kind of messing around a bit, like going in, like I'd go into Rep stream and just tell him his lights are too fucking bright, and like I'd get my entire chat to go in there and say the same shit, and like just watching like somebody just spin and like try to like adjust everything, like because honestly, if somebody comes to my stream and tells me my lights are too bright, I'm just gonna be like,
All right.
fucking deal with it.
Yeah,
Honestly,
I'm
like,
not touching it now. I'll deal with it
I'm
off
not
stream.
touching it. But yeah, so we have been doing that. It's just harmless fun. Like I'm like, boys, don't be mean or anything. And of course, you get some kids who are gonna do. I was like, if you're acting like an asshole, I'll ban your ass right now. But we'll go in there and we'll just have some fun with people. Man, it's like the guys in there just like turning every light off in his room, so you can't even see him anymore. And then everyone's still too bright.
Space from kitchen party to DJ, military, streamer to full-time bully.
Bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing.
Full-time bully.
He's a bully.
Yeah, but
I mean,
what game got you started?
Yeah. So like, are you talking about like gaming in
Not what
general?
started-
100%. Yeah, like to your roots. What game
Oh,
would you touch and go, this is the one?
Hmm.
He was in Newfoundland. They didn't have games. Probably washer
Yeah.
tub.
Yeah, tic tac toe. really started it off for me. No, I think the first game that I was like, oh, this was definitely GoldenEye on the N64, like
Oh, my
100%.
man.
Like I spent a lot of hours playing GoldenEye, and like
The
it's really
graphics are
fun.
still better than Crunker.
Jesus Christ.
You know what? I have to disagree with you because I just recently looked at a video of that game, and it's like, man, we've come a long way. Holy
Yeah, like
shit!
Yeah.
but your memories of that game are make it look
Oh,
infinitely better. Like nostalgia is
Oh, yeah.
so
yeah.
crazy.
The shit that we would do, like I can remember vividly us like the game didn't have anything in it, but the stuff that you would do like would resemble a lot of things that are in games now. You're like, imagine if you could do this in the game. So like we would go and get like all the guns, and we'd have like one room with all the, and we'd like kill ourselves and put all the guns in one room, and then we'd have like one dude like like selling the guns and shit. Like again, we're kids, right? But like I remember like basically running a custom match of Goldeneye with all my 3 other buddies like in there, and like, oh yeah, like you could have some fun with it, right? But that's
When you had
definitely
to
what
figure out
started it.
the glitches too, that was hilarious. Like,
Yeah,
Oh,
man.
yeah.
you couldn't just Google it. You couldn't Google the glitches. You found them by accident or like word of mouth.
Nobody
Yeah,
was
there-
allowed to play Ob Job because it was basically cheating.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Do you guys remember the bathroom glitch where you could teleport into the wall and go to the generator room underneath the ground?
Yeah, or even
Yeah.
just the little shit they put in games that nobody knew about, like in Temple.
Yeah.
And like
Oh,
the
yeah.
doors, like the wall was the wall. You couldn't see anything, and then you click
Yeah.
B on the wall and it opens.
Yeah.
It's like,
Mhm.
unless you're going around all the walls and nobody told you, you're never gonna find that out unless you're just
No.
eating the game completely. Which is
Dude,
pretty cool.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Going back to what Volantiss said, like nostalgia, kind of like changing our point of views of what the games look like. At one point, I could have sworn my Nintendo 64 had ray tracing sometimes.
Yeah.
I remember the like games on there looked so much better than I
So
remember,
good.
That was
Yeah.
me
or so
with
much
like
worse
fucking,
than I remember.
that was me with fucking 2D Prince of Persia, man. Like
Mhm.
the flat
which
screen
one?
Prince
There was
of
two.
Persia.
Oh yeah.
Which one? The flat screen one I'm
What-
talking.
Yeah.
Like platform
Well,
wise. There was
I got the bad news for you. They're all platformers.
No. There's
Except
like,
for Sands of Time. Except for Sands of Time.
no, there's like 3 of them that are third person fucking games.
Yeah,
But,
there's
yeah,
a lot
no.
of them actually, but
Yeah, but like the
Dude.
fucking OG Prince of Persia, literally, I swear to God, I couldn't tell each pixel apart. I look at it now, I'm like, I can count them. Hello, I can.
Yeah.
There's like
Oh,
12
yeah.
pixels on
is
my
this
screen.
Minecraft?
Yeah, like the
Is this
blocks.
16-bit Minecraft?
Like I think like I remember not being allowed to play like Grand Theft Auto. Like Grand Theft Auto 3
Oh yeah.
was definitely like that was a huge when my first buddy got a hold of that, like he was allowed, like his parents didn't give a shit what he was playing, so like he had it, and I just remember going over there and I was like,
Dude, this
Man,
game. Yeah.
what, you could do anything you want? Like, are you kidding me right now? And yeah, like just trying to, I don't know, you guys have all played Grand Theft Auto 3, I'm sure, like
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
trying to getting that banshee and trying to jump the bridge to the next map before you're allowed to go over there, like right at the start. Like, man, that
Mhm.
game
Vice
was
City was my
so
favorite.
good.
You remember
Vice
getting the
City, same
wanted
thing.
level once you cross?
Vice City was
Instantly
Vice
5
City was
stars.
unmatched. Vice City was
Dude,
unmatched.
what's San
for me.
Andreas? What do you mean?
No, San Andreas is the
yeah.
generation after Vice City, though.
Yeah,
That's
San
San
Andreas
Andreas
was
is
a
a
whole
GTA
is-
5 is garbage compared to San Andreas, in my opinion. All right?
San
It
Andreas
doesn't
is
matter
like
the
a good
timeline.
5 years, I think, after Vice City, or like
Yeah.
3 years or
Vice
something.
City's what kind of started
Yeah.
the quality. Like Vice
Yeah,
City was
100%.
Yeah.
storyline.
Mhm.
The
Mhm.
Yeah,
story
Vice City set up San Andreas.
Yep.
Yeah.
It still
exactly.
blows my mind. Like, do you guys remember the beginning of Vice City when he goes onto the yacht? Did you know
Mhm.
they introduce every single GTA character in the future upcoming franchises on that boat? We're talking about Michael, talking about Nico. You're talking
Really?
about you're also talking about the lady that's going to be the new GTA. And like they brought up even Gay Tony's on that boat. I'm serious. Go back and look at that yacht, and you see every single character that's in their lineup.
Really? I did not know
Yeah,
that.
I didn't know that until like
Great
recently.
user. Okay.
Yeah, it's like
Oh,
I
wow.
had to go because I still have my PS2, so I can
Yep.
go back and play those games anytime I want. I have all of them, like including like the top down ones. It's like
Yep.
so good, but it's like No, it took me so long to find that out until I saw a video and it's like, what? No way.
Yeah.
There's Michael. But he looks like, he looks like Vice City Michael, but it's hard to tell. But you see all the main characters, except for like Trevor. You don't see Trevor, you don't see Franklin, because those are like characters that come in through the story of GTA 5.
Yeah.
But it's insane.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I think it's cool to have like I'm fortunate to at least be old enough to have seen that level of development with gaming. Like I feel like right now, and I'm sure there's, it's still exponential, but like somebody who's like, 14 years old now, they're playing like I was playing like Halo. And I remember like seeing Halo 2 and being like, holy shit, like this is the most realistic shit I've ever seen in my life. You look at Halo 2 now compared to, I don't know, Cyberpunk, right? Like that's just that's the bar, right? Like, and I'm not saying like Cyberpunk's obviously a trash pile, but like as far as like what they were able to accomplish visually, like, oh my god, man, like so it's only going up. But yeah, like the bar is so high now. It's like, man, we were so easily impressed. You know what I mean? Like
we're literally talking about 8K 60 frames on the new graphics cards.
So
the power. Jesus Christ. Yeah, we're all browser gamers.
Yeah, I have a 3090, but I just play Conquer.
Yep.
I have a ray trace Conquer.
I have a ray tracing GPU, and I play browser game.
I always see that meme. It's like gets a $3,000 PC
GPU,
to suck in 1080p. Like,
it's actually insane because I play Counter-Strike at 4x3 stretch, and I have a pretty decent system for CS. Yeah, but it's like that for everybody.
Yeah, man.
Like you look at any professional player, they always play in like lower settings.
Well, yeah,
except for Shroud,
right? Yeah,
performance is just better.
Yeah.
Yeah, but all you need is 240 frames. And Counter-Strike, you can easily get 300 to 500 frames on like a basic i7.
I had a teammate that when I was playing Apex who was like, he was a predator and he was absolutely cracked at the game. And then like he started streaming and I'm like, he was on the lowest settings. This guy had an unreal PC, but he was literally shooting at like pixels. I'm like, why are you playing the game like that, man? Oh, it's because I play better. I'm like, but like, to a certain point, like especially with a game like Apex, like do you want to go that far in that direction? That is it really that important? Like if the game's still gotta look somewhat good, like it looks like you're playing it on a potato.
We used to do that competitively. We used to take out the backgrounds in games, like when we're playing competitively. You'd go into the files and you'd actually like delete the shades, so you'd just be like a gray wall against, and then you'd bump the character graphics so you could really see them. And then it was just like game training, dude. Crazy.
I remember doing that on Quake.
Yeah.
Did you guys remember OG Quake on the PC?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's fast.
I grew up on console, but if you had a PC, you were playing Quake.
Yeah. Unreal Tournament too, man. Just like definitely a lot of groundwork there. Yeah, I didn't do much on PC. Like I said, I was a console gamer up until just the past couple of years, really. Like I played on my laptop, but never had anything like super good on there. But yeah, no, man, I don't know. Like I feel like Halo and like Call of Duty 4 were definitely like probably the like two biggest games that like really like I got stuck on for a long time when I was like a kid. Like I remember especially like Halo 3 and just doing LAN parties with Halo 3. Like those are good memories gaming wise, man. Like
your Xbox and like your cords and
you'd have so sick. You'd set up in two separate rooms and like you'd wipe the other team and your boys would all just come running in the room. Just like
do you remember the launch of Halo 3? How big that was? The fact that was like the first game that got like not social media, like media coverage. Like it was on the news. It's like where else are you gonna get that? It was on like the New York main news channel. It's like
I had buddies that went to Halo 3. We drove we lived literally where I'm from. Like so I grew up in a really, really small town, and it's like 2.5 hours away from the nearest Tim Hortons. Like that isolated.
Had to take a push plane.
It's right on the like southeast coast, but yeah, basically it's just a 2-lane highway that has no cell phone reception the entire way. You don't have like for 2.5 hours you're driving on just really shitty highway. So it's actually like super dangerous too. But like
for directions. Hey, buddy.
yeah, no, yeah. If you go off the road, you might be waiting a couple hours, right? But
Especially
but
if
yeah,
you're like in a Winnebago.
we were definitely used to making that trip across, like as you know, like a teenager. As soon as my buddy had a license, we were taking sometimes on that Saturday, like stupid as shit to think about it now, but like, oh boys, we want to get Tim Hortons. Like Tim Hortons was a treat. Like let's go to the near like let's go to the Tim Hortons. So we'd hop in my buddy's car Saturday morning, drive for 2 hours, get a Tim Hortons, hang out for a couple hours, and then drive back. Like so, like you'd spend like 4 hours in the car just to get a cup of fucking coffee, right? Like
eggs now, dude.
Yeah, but it's all about the journey, though, man.
oh, that's it. You know, we didn't care. We didn't have nothing else going on. But what I was saying, like when Halo dropped, I know like I had a couple friends that like that was one of those things that they camped out for. They went there and they actually camped the line out. Like they were near the front of the line just so they could get it and try to beat it like as fast as they could, right? Like be that like
I used to do that for all the games.
yep.
And you
They'd
had
do
to
the
too, 'cause
midnight
they'd only-
releases.
Some of
Oh,
them would
yeah.
only get like 50 each in each location. I got smarter and I started going to like Shoppers Drug Mart here. I don't know if you
Yeah.
have them. They
Oh, yeah.
always had games and systems, but nobody knew that.
Yeah.
And they get like 10. They wouldn't get as many, but I just go there. There's
Yeah,
no
they didn't have as
lineup. Yeah, so you just go there and you'd be like the only one, and you didn't have to wait the line. I never told anybody. I got Hero like 1, 2, and 3 that way, like the day after.
Yeah.
Just nobody thinks of a Drug Mart for having that.
No, man.
Mhm.
That was good times, honestly. I definitely
I-
like go ahead.
Yeah, I was supposed to say, I honestly think retro games is like, because at this point, I hate to say, Halo 3, I would consider it under the retro category by now.
Yeah, I
Because
think
that's what brought up like all the today's gamers into the category of video games if you were on an Xbox.
like even
I
Halo
don't-
2 really. Like Halo 2
yeah.
was still like just as you weren't the online didn't work as well, but I feel like you were still just as like it was so bad for a long time. Yeah. Xbox Live just in general was terrible at that point, but
It's still
Yeah.
terrible.
yeah.
It's still terrible.
It never works, dude. I
You
could
have to
get on
pay
try
for
and
it. Of
play
course
with
it's
my buddies
terrible.
now on the chat probably wouldn't work right now.
Halo is one of those games that regardless of where you came from, if you were a PlayStation guy, if you were a PC guy, you knew Halo. All right.
Oh, yeah.
You knew
even if you
Halo.
didn't play it, you've definitely heard of it like about 15
Mhm.
billion times.
My dad knew what Halo was, man. Like
Mhm. It's kind of the same with Half-Life because Half-Life became such a big meme about Half-Life 3 that it got into that category. It's like, why isn't Half-Life 3 came out? I don't even play video games, so when's it coming out?
Yeah. No, Half-Life I think was Half-Life and Quake were like generation defining in terms of FPSs.
oh yeah.
At least,
yeah.
at least for me, because like Counter-Strike 1.6 was massive for me, and that came out literally based on their engine.
I used to do this one. It was they took San Andreas and they made legitimately like a full on. This is like long before like people again had this ability. They basically modded it, and it was just San Andreas multiplayer. So it was like a multiplayer server for San Andreas way before like Grand Theft Auto had online play. And it was like a role playing server, and it was like hardcore role play. Like these guys had like a police department that you had to apply for and shit. Like I'm not even kidding. It was, but like as a kid, that was like the coolest shit ever.
Yeah.
Like that was better than like Grand Theft Auto Online right now. Doesn't even come close to that for me. Like it was cool, right? For sure.
Yeah.
They did that
we
shit
had more
on like Armor 3. I don't know if you've heard of
Oh,
the game
yeah.
at all, but
Oh, yeah,
Armor 3
yeah.
has got a hardcore role playing base. It's literally like that. Like if you get cuffed, you're getting cuffed for a couple hours in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's rough.
Yeah, it's the same on that. You go to jail sometimes for hours.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Role playing in games that don't actually need role playing but have the mechanics to do so will always be some of the best experiences you can have. Like going back to
100%.
the GTA thing, like even GTA like now, if you
Yep.
go into a role play server, if you break character even once, you're pretty much going to get banned from that server.
Yep. Yep.
It's like actually insane to me.
I haven't been on. Like I should try that again sometime because I used to have a lot of fun with that, man.
Oh,
They
dude,
must do, though.
they are fun. The only
Yeah.
thing is, you have to actually get a job to make money.
Yep.
Like, if you're not delivering trash, if you're I'm not delivering, if you're not
Yeah,
picking
100%.
up trash, if
Running
you're not doing
materials,
that, you're not, yeah,
God damn. I'm sitting over
Like,
here
even-
just shooting things.
yeah. Like, look at us in Rust.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the possibilities with that game are endless, man.
Oh yeah, especially with mods, it's actually insane.
It's a shame that the community's so goddamn toxic.
I know.
It is.
Everyone wants to kill on sight, but that's how Rust is. It's a competitive shooter,
Yeah.
even though it doesn't seem like it is.
Yeah,
And it's like
100%.
awesome. Just don't blow up your teammates' horses with the grenade.
Look, man, that's a very sensitive issue for me. Okay, I've been through that a little too much.
I
Nah,
wish
but I
Mish was here
remember-
to talk about
No, he'd burst out laughing at my pain. I'd rather not.
that.
But no, I remember Rust like back when it was in Legacy. Like Rust was the game for me where I was like, okay, it's getting fucking real now. I need a
Yeah.
PC. I want to play this. Like Rust
100%.
Legacy was amazing. Like you could build a little fucking shack, dude. It's literally
Shit's cool.
one building. All you need is a door, and you have a house, a 1x1. Like you can't
fact-
expand from it, but yeah.
I think the reality is that people really just like fucking over other people. Like
Yeah.
they just
Oh, yeah.
like and
Humans
in
are
Rust
cruel,
was
dude.
just the
And it-
background for
Oh
that.
yeah.
100%.
Yeah,
And the
This- I'm-
bears were unbelievably overpowered. Like you could
Mm.
empty
Yeah.
a clip of an M92 into a bear's skull, and it would still kill you.
yeah.
It's
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
like
man.
DayZ in that factor. You really see like the cruelty of people.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Oh, yeah.
DayZ, I would consider the role play, like the beginning of role playing when it comes to online. Because DayZ is like that was a mod within a mod of itself.
Yeah.
Especially if you were playing like Armored 2 and you played DayZ off of there. That's when you get into role play.
Yeah.
And which
yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's what sparked up Arma role play. I could be wrong. Don't kill me in the chat.
I think they actually started about the
But that's
same
what introduced
time.
me to it.
Right. I think they
Yeah.
actually started around the same time, but Arma had the better means to carry out said role play. Like cuz you could
Right.
actually like have people cuffed, you could have them like come out with their hands up. You could have like different vehicles, different weapons to purchase and shit. I think Arma
Well, that's what DayZ had. Like
Right.
DayZ
but
was
I
a
think-
mod of what's up. Or okay, no, I see what you mean. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
My bad. Yeah, I see what
No,
you
but
mean.
like yeah, that was basically my point. I think Arma like brought up the means, and then Daisy said, "Okay, we'll take what you have and make it better."
Yeah, make it post-apocalyptic. And
Yeah.
here's a disease while we're at it.
And here we are now. You have
Yeah.
Rust. It's just like you can do anything, man. You can do anything in Rust.
Yeah,
Mhm.
literally, you could
As
do
long as there's not a
electronics.
helicopter out.
Yeah.
To beat Volantiss
Yeah.
up with a mace.
Yeah,
That was
you
my favorite.
smack 'em, yeah, that clip, dude. That clip.
You should have made the
It's such a
doorways
good
bigger,
clip.
bro.
I hopped on
Well, speaking-
official again
Go ahead.
the other day for the first time, and like it was a lot of fun, man. Like I was like, yeah, okay. Like I would never stream this game on an official server, but just playing it
Oh,
on an
God,
official
no.
server, man. Like you do and say things you're just not proud of in general afterwards, but like it's so,
You
it's
just look
so
back at it and you're just
Mhm.
like, "What the hell did I do?"
just to sit outside somebody's door for like half an hour with the bow
Mhm.
just aimed at the door, and as soon as that door comes open, crack.
Yeah, like
Thanks for all your
we played it 2 weeks ago. Me and two of Repttars' friends, Mackenzie and Anthony. They were on the like our actual like private server, and we were on different teams at that point. And it was just the three of us sinking like the most hours in. We're just like, screw
Yeah.
it. Do you just want to hop in a pub, see how we do? They're like, sure.
Yeah.
Took us an hour to get a 1x1 setup. Like
Yeah,
in a
it's
300 player official, you cannot get materials without getting gunned down. Like it's so hard.
you got to get lucky. Like that's
So
like a lot of when you see guys do like a fresh wipe on
Mhm.
on a new like on an official Rust server, they'll basically even tell you, I got like you're either getting lucky or you're not. So like at the start, you can like snag an airdrop or something, and just get like as soon as you have a gun in your hand before everybody else, that's when it's like you're like a god, right? Like the first few people, as long as you can stay clear of the other people that have guns, like for that first like few hours or even the first day, everybody that's out farming, you're literally just farming them. So it's
Yeah, like
Yeah.
oh,
yeah,
it was
yeah.
rough, man. And no, I think the majority part of Rust's luck comes on your first night of a wipe. So if
Oh,
it's
100%.
yeah.
if you're all going to sleep, like not in game night, if you guys have to like RL sleep, you're
What's
and you
that?
come back tomorrow morning and your base is intact, you have to just thank the gods because you have been blessed.
Oh yeah,
Especially if
yeah.
you're on like a modded server. Oh my god.
Oh, modded server? Yeah, your base is getting flattened in an hour. Like, yeah, I'll make
Yeah.
sure there's not even a foundation left.
Yeah, I wonder if
Hey,
we're gonna have a base tomorrow. Like,
Yeah, literally, yeah.
speaking of that, did you guys ever see there's a I'm not gonna say their name so I don't like anyway, there's a guy on YouTube where he goes to different sized maps and tries to get like the most amount of stuff within like the first day of him playing it. He
Yeah.
goes onto a one by like it's a 4 it's a 4x4 grid. I'm not
Mhm.
4x4. It's a 2x2 grid,
Mhm.
and there's one island. So in this in the center of this island is where you get all your materials, and the oil is just like 2 blocks out in the water. So imagine this tiny place. This man goes into the server, builds a house, and this server's full. It's got 100 people in it, and I will never understand how someone could be so good at this game because he managed to get all the material. He goes to the oil and solos it, and I do mean big oil, by the way.
Yeah,
He
big oil's the
solos it,
easier one to
comes- yeah.
solo.
And he comes back, kills everybody, then has like a small shack that he
Yeah.
makes into like metal. And I don't understand how people can do it. Because if I go into a server, if there's like 5 people, I'm gonna get gunned down by an arrow or an Apache helicopter or some shit.
Yeah.
You will never understand. And the last time I played on the private server, I got mauled by a bear.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
I don't know.
it takes some
It's like,
practice.
I don't
Oh
know.
yeah, and it's all about experience.
We were playing the other night. I don't know if I got to tell you guys about this. This is really random. I wish I was recording it because honestly, like, it would have made literally probably the best video ever. But I hopped in this official and I got lucky. Pretty much what happened, I found an airdrop, had a couple guns in it or whatever, and I was in this like valley. It was a custom seed, so the map had like a lot of really cool stuff in it. But all these people, it was like one of the noob spawn areas was in this like big river valley with like these little like sand islands in the middle of it. So I built my house out here, got a stone house up. So we were doing really well. And then this I don't know, man, there must have been about 30 or 40 like Chinese guys in a Zerg. Like there was like all 40 of them in a team just swarmed this area and like completely like just washed over everybody that was there. And it came out of nowhere, man. It was just like we had a buddy that was living next to us, and he's just like, you just hear him, and he's like, man, I'm being chased by a bunch of Chinese guys right now. Like, come out and help me out. And then I go outside, and honestly, God, man, there's like 30 dudes screaming in Chinese on the VC, just like running towards us with like spears and axes and shit. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, oh, it was the most ridiculous shit. And they just kept coming, man. Like, they would kill us. Like, I had a sawed-off shotgun, or I had the pump shotty, and I dropped like 5 of them. And when I went to reload, they just like dogpiled me, and I was fucked. And
Too many.
oh, you couldn't do anything about it. And
Yeah.
they were all pinging so high. They were all pinging really bad. You could tell because they were like
They're
trying to
on
loot.
most they're on most official servers too. That's what blows, man.
Yeah.
Like, and you could pick like a face punch server, a Reddit server, a Rustified server. They're everywhere, dude.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, yeah.
How do
Big
you even
Zergs are
organize
definitely
that
hard.
many people?
Man,
Yeah.
this guy
You
was
don't.
calling.
Wasn't
You
a ton at
don't.
that
Yeah.
point.
It's all
These
about
guys
power.
organized.
We
These
can't
guys
even
are
organize
organized.
like 5 people into like a Discord, let alone 40 trying to raid a
Yeah,
base.
jeez.
No,
This
the
is in
thing is with
PC.
the thing is with 5, you're trying to organize. With 40, they're like, here's spears, just get everybody.
Yeah, that's it, man. And you really can. Like, we couldn't do anything about it. So I'll tell you, because most of your best stories are going to come from when you're doing your training or whatever. And like when I got into the army, um, I was definitely getting in at a point where most of the people that were already in the army had all done like combat service, like over in Afghanistan and shit. So we were the guys coming in who had 0 experience. Like that shit had just
Newbie.
shut down, and they had very little respect but at the same time, they were like training you. They were training you for an actual combat deployment. Like they wanted you to be
Prepare.
good to go with the stress levels. So they were really putting the heat on us. And yeah, so it was to say that it sucked is an understatement. We were locked up basically for 10 weeks with like you didn't have really any contact with the outside. Um and they would, yeah, it was just 24/7. Like you're just getting fucked with constantly. Like you never knew when it was going to happen. I lost so much weight on that course. I was only 18 at the time when I did it, but yeah. So one of my fondest. I can laugh about it now. It was fucking terrible at the time, but you learn to laugh at a lot of misfortune in that when you're going through that, because you have to, because if you don't, you'll just go crazy. But anyway, so one big part of it is like they want you to have really good attention to detail. My job description as a whole, especially when we were deployed, was walking down a dirt road with a metal detector, like looking for like uh, signs of IEDs and anything like that. So this is like our primary role at that point was like route clearance and route denial. So if you need a route cleared, you go down on the ground with your metal detecting vehicles and like your manual metal detectors, clear the route. If you need the route denied, you just blow the fucking road up, and like nobody's gonna be able to get through it. So this is kind of like the mentality that a lot of the guys that were teaching us had. So they really wanted you to have good attention to detail. So they would give you these tasks that were really honestly impossible to do with the time that we had to do them. And they would expect them done to a really high standard. They came in one night and they they got us up at like 3 a.m. This is in the middle of the winter too. So they got us to go outside. Just basically where like we got our uniforms on and walked out and we were crawling through the snow. They took all our rifles and they buried them in the snow. So we after they were all buried, we had to go and dig them out. We all had our own rifle, like with our own serial number. We had to find it. When we came in, they were throwing all our stuff into the showers. So I'm talking like everything, our beds, our sheets, our pillowcases, all our clothes, all our gear, our boots, everything except for what we were wearing, which was already soaked because we were just crawling around out in the snow for the past hour. And then they got us to take apart our bunk beds. They had like tools in there to take all the metal framing from the bunks, put it in the shower, just an absolute just kit bomb in the shower room, soaked everything. And then so by the time they had finished doing all that, it was about 3 a.m. And they're like, okay, like we're gonna be back at 6 o'clock for an inspection. Make sure this shit is all good to go. So we had 3 hours basically to try to get this shit ready. And we pretty much just all decided at that point, like, we're not gonna be able to do this. Like it's not happening. So instead of actually trying to get our shit back together, one of the boys was like the floor was covered in water. One of the boys went and grabbed a shitload of fucking laundry soap and just threw it all over the floor. And it started out as like just somebody like sliding down the hallway with their shoes on or whatever. And I'm talking like you gotta understand the army is a place where like you get real comfortable with the boys. So within like an hour, everybody was like ass naked doing a fucking slip and slide down this fucking hallway. Like we've been locked up for 10 weeks. This shit was like out of nowhere, just a bunch of dudes just going fucking crazy. It was like we had like brooms and we were like sweeping like we were playing curling. We had guys like putting their helmets on and we were like setting up like piles of like equipment and trying to like slide through it and knock it over. It was so fucking funny, man. But
Jesus Christ.
they came in the morning basically to us just like having nothing done.
No, ass naked too.
Yeah. Oh no, we had clothes on at this point, but like we just basically we just fucked around, and they walked in, man, and they were not happy. They were not fucking happy. We got punished for that. Like I've never done so many push-ups in my life, but it was worth it, man. Like you get really close with guys going through shit like that, but yeah, the amount of stuff you get a lot of ideas. Like now, I'm at the point in my career where I'm the guy that's going in and doing this stuff. And at the time, I was like, I remember thinking like, oh, dude, this is so pointless. Like, I can't like, what the fuck is the point of all this shit? But then you realize like, okay, um, you need to still be able to function under a great deal of stress for one, to be able to keep your like morale up in the face of just like shittiness, like in general, just being uncomfortable, being tired, being literally never winning. Like the the theme of that whole course is even when you're right, you're wrong. Like you never win. They get you so accustomed to just living in like a constant state of failure that like you're you're completely acclimatized to it. So it doesn't matter like that. Okay, so you did this thing good, but you did these other 5 things bad. You just you just learn to like hang on to that one good thing. All right, I suppose like there's no winning here, so let's just put our heads down and get through it kind of deal, right? So yeah, no, it was a really good experience for me. And I think like being on the other side of it now, it's like
Shit's
you
about to
know
get interesting.
oh yeah, you know what the well it's already started, right? I've been doing it for a while, but I definitely appreciate it more now because for the past couple years they definitely took a step back, especially with COVID and stuff. They didn't want to induce a lot of stress on people because there was enough stress already on their mental health with like the lockdown and stuff. But then they realized that this a lot of the people that were going through the training system in the past year are having like attitude problems and like
Really?
really yeah, yeah, because they're not getting this like this discipline like instilled in them at all. There's no like we had like a fear of God
Yeah.
of people, like, especially at that point when I was coming through, all these guys had actually done their job. Like, they had actually gone over and, like, they'd been shot at and shit, and I was like, "Holy fuck, like, these guys are actual machines." Like, so when you showed up after you did your training, you went to the unit, you're just like, "Oh god, I just finished my course, like, I'm feeling on top of the world," and then you get to the unit, and you're right back down to the bottom of the shit pile, like, "Oh, hey, what's up, new guy? Go fucking mop the floor," like so, yeah, definitely you never, like, talked back to anybody that was above you. You had a lot of respect for the guys that had just more time doing the job than you in general, and I feel like now that, there's a little bit more of, like, a stalemate, you kind of have for a while there, they kinda lost that, so they're trying to get it back. They've recently just come down and been like, "Yeah, you guys need to start, like, ramping up the intensity again because these
Yeah.
guys are losing that like respect for their superiors basically." So yeah, no, it's really interesting to be on the other side of it. I love teaching people too as well. So like um being able to basically take the good instructors that I've had over my last 7 8 years in the army and kind of try to mirror the qualities that I like, and I've seen plenty that I didn't like that I just will like, yeah, I will never be that guy. I'll never do this. Like anytime I'm doing, if I'm making somebody do push-ups, like I'm down doing push-ups with them. If we're bear crawling down a hill, I'm bear crawling down the hill with you. If we've got to dig, like if you're doing it, I'm doing it. But like, you got to do it better than me, and
Yeah.
I'm not gonna make that easy for you. Like, that's the mentality I have about everything I do. So it's like,
And I'm only doing 1 push-up. You're doing 100.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there's tricks, right? But yeah, no, like you obviously can't sit there and do 100 push-ups, but like if somebody's slacking a little bit, you know, give yourself a break by getting up, walking over to them, then getting back down in their face and being like,
Yeah.
"Why are you sucking? Like stop sucking." And then you look over and another guy's dragging his ass. Get up, walk over, give yourself that 5 seconds, get down. Like, how am I better at this than you are? Like,
Yeah.
I'm giving myself grace periods, but you don't know that yet.
well, they're just you know, a lot of times not even nosing. Again, even if they did, it doesn't matter because like I've had plenty of instructors just be like, just get down and start doing push-ups, get down and start doing this, and just stand there and like look at you and just like, you know, power trip over you because like, oh, I have this I had no friends in high school and nobody liked me, so I have all this power in my life, so I'm just gonna like
Full
stand here.
reign.
Might use
Yeah,
it.
just power trip over you and just make you do shit that other people made me do. Like, no, I definitely had more respect for the guys who could get in front of you and do what you were doing and just absolutely make it look easy and like still just I don't know. It's like, yeah, you're doing dumb shit. And sometimes, yeah, there's things that you're gonna do that they're not gonna do, but obviously they've done it or something just as hard. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, they'd be in
So
the
you're
same
taking more
spot.
of the leadership role over a boss role.
yeah, 100%. You
Okay.
got to, man. You have to.
Okay.
You
I
have
like
to.
it.
Yeah, you got to have the respect of the boys, right? And like know when to turn
Mhm.
it off. If we're doing something that requires like actual teamwork or they're doing something new, like I can flick the switch. Like, all right, guys, like I'm going to explain to you how this is done properly. Like we do a lot of PT with logs, like big telephone poles. They got to work as a team to like pick this fucking thing up. So they'll do like sit ups with it. I'm sure I don't know if you guys ever seen like buds training or anything, but like it's not like to that level, but like they do a lot of the same kind of stuff, like pressing the log over their head. And if they're not doing
Yeah.
it properly, they're going to hurt themselves, right? So
Oh
like
yeah.
I
That's
know
what we
when to
do for
switch it up.
Spartan races.
Yeah, exactly. So like
And if
and
one gives, there's a good chance everyone's gonna fucking give.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's a
well,
chain link.
Yeah.
you just gotta hammer that mentality too, man. Like I'm really big on just get like boys, like I know like they're defeated, they're a little bit like nervous and stuff. Like, boys, get angry at it. Like that log that's on you, like that's your enemy. I'm your enemy. I'm telling you to do this, like get fucking angry. I want to see you guys get fucking pissed off. And then like you'll just see them start getting like stronger. It's fucked. Like they'll start just pushing this thing and they're just going ham, right? So yeah, no, it's a cool feeling being able to like get them fired up. And yeah, oh yeah, you see them start to get a bit of confidence, and then you're just like, all right,
Rip it away from
good
them.
job. Now let's go do something else new that you're gonna suck at, and we'll do it all again, right? Like,
Like all that
Oh.
adrenaline you just got rid of, you're gonna need
Yeah.
more.
no, but they remember that kind of thing. So it's like I remember I did. I was like, yeah, this sucks, but like makes you feel good when you're like actually working as a team, as opposed to me just standing there and being like, you're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. Do it better. Why are you so bad? Like, yeah, no, fuck, man. I don't know. That's just my mentality on it. There's plenty of people that'll have conflicting. I definitely think like there's a lot of potential there, and then those are like that's such a pinnacle time, like when you're just starting out, because you'll definitely be influenced by like the people that are teaching you shit. So know when to turn the switch on. When we're just if they're not listening or they do something wrong, like I can be a real fucking prick if I want to or if I need to be. But like when they're actually doing well in the face of like something that's difficult, I don't mind giving them a little bit of, like encouragement. Like, good shit, boys. Like, keep that up. You still fucking suck, but keep it up.
A
Yeah,
little bit of glimpse of humanity, but back down.
yeah, 100%. So that's cool, man. I enjoy it. Like I'm not looking for the only part about leadership that's kind of shittier is like there's a much bigger increase in like paperwork and shit.
Yeah.
So like the administrative side, you have a lot more to deal with like people, especially now with like them being locked up in quarantine. They have a lot of issues like at home, mentally. Like they're much less like healthy in general. Like having to come here and quarantine for 14 days in a shitty little room, and like it's a hard quarantine when they're coming from like Ontario to do these courses. They've got to stay in this shitty little room. They've got to be they got to be escorted outside to have like a cigarette. Like it's pretty
Crazy.
much like being in prison. So these guys definitely are coming in with a little less uh, morale, like camaraderie. Which so I honestly think like right now it's definitely more difficult in different ways. Like I think physically they were harder on us when I did my course, but like mentally right now, just having to deal with all the extra bullshit is definitely it's a task in its own. But that comes with a lot of paperwork because people are like, I can't do it anymore. Like I don't want to do this anymore. And like you got to try to talk them out of that kind of mentality, or and some of them just don't give a shit. Like fuck this, I'm done. I'm not doing this right now. Honestly, like I've said it before. I'm like, man, if I was just getting in and I had to do my course in these conditions, like I don't know if I would have honestly done it. Like, you can't even like so much harder to allow them to like work together when they can't be within 2 meters of each other. Like how are you guys gonna lift a log when you gotta be 2 meters spread apart? How are you guys? We do like hand bridges, right? That's like another big thing that we do is assembling like it's called an MGB. So basically, it's like a big fucking Lego block bridge, but they're just like 500, 600 pound metal bridging pieces that it's like a 4-man lift. So 4 guys will get on it. Just got carry bars you hook in, and it's meant to be put up really fast. So you get a group of guys, like a troop of guys that knows what they're doing. You can throw this fucking bridge up in like 2 or 3 hours, like a fucking full on bridge. But
How big's the bridge?
it depends. You can have as many bays. Really, it's just like you take into account like the center of gravity and shit. And there's like you got to do the math. Like the guy who's a bridge commander will do all that shit and basically determine how many bays. Like obviously, it's pushed across the gap with a truck. So we build it on the home side, and then you start pushing it across. And as you're pushing it across, you're adding a bay at a time. So okay, 2 more bays. You're adding pieces as the bridge is being built and as it's being pushed across the gap. And so it's literally just honestly one of my favorite things to do, because it's just basically just like powerlifting with the boys for like 5 hours straight. And it's all teamwork, and you can just like really get in a rhythm. Like it turns into a race normally because you've got 2 sides. You got the center party, which is like all the support beams in the middle, and the pin bitches and shit, like guys that just put pins in. That's just a term we have for guys who are too weak to lift the pieces. We just give them the pin bitch job because they can't lift the pieces. So anyway,
Nobody wants to be the pin bitch.
Oh, there are people that want to be the pin bitch, but it's like
it
your
means
pride.
you're lifting less.
Your pride doesn't want to be the pin bitch, at least for me. But anyway, no, like racing the guys on the other side trying to throw this thing up. Yeah, you can have a lot of fun with it. It's definitely like I've had a lot of fun in that trade. So yeah, being a common engineer is sweet when you're actually doing your job. Yeah.
Mhm.
It's just for the times that you're not doing your job that it can get boring.
Streaming.
Yeah, and then you're streaming. Exactly. So it gives me time.
Crunker, it's like the same thing.
It gives you time to do other stuff. So yeah, it's not the worst. It's honestly, I've had a lot of good experiences. Like I said, I could sit here and tell you guys army stories till the sun comes up, but that's definitely, I think, a pretty good one. Like, yeah.
Plus, there's always a part 2 if people like you. Like on the podcast, we'll see how the like ratio is. If we hit 5 likes, we'll do a part 2 in the future.
There you go.
No, more
me,
like 10.
me with 8 accounts. Definitely gonna like.
I feel like we can definitely manage. I mean, there's 4 of us here.
Yeah, I was about to say 5 is kind of.
We just need one person to like.
I'm gonna make my cat an account.
Hey, babe.
Let's go with 20. Let's go with 20. Yeah, be it 20.
15. Let's do 15.
I enjoyed this. This is awesome. Like,
100%.
Yeah, it is fun.
You should still pump by when we're doing just the boys talking about shit.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean,
We just recorded it.
I have the perm now, so I can.
Yeah, I was about to say you can pop by whenever you want now. Yeah.
There's been a few times that I've seen you guys in here or like in the content room that I haven't been able to get in. And I'm like,
I was just
I
like,
just
just
wanna
join
be with the
something. We'll
boys.
drag you. Yeah. Normally I get DM'd. I was just like, hey, can you let me into that special exclusive room you have? I was like, dude, it's not that special, man. Just join anything. I'll bring you in.
yeah.
Are you this tall?
Are you above the height of 4'9"? You'll be fine.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
And the best part is I normally record all of our Discord stuff. Normally do. I haven't been doing it recently because I need a new CPU, but
yeah.
A lot of people haven't been on as much too. We've just been
true.
sporadic.
Yeah, things been
It's just
busy.
been-
Yeah.
people got some things going on.
Yeah. No,
If
it'd
there's
be
ever
awesome.
a Discord moment.
Like I said, I think that there's definitely something to it. Like at the bare minimum, even if it doesn't work out, I I got to meet some pretty sweet dudes out of it. So and like just getting involved with like East Coast streamers in general, or like not all East Coast obviously, but just guys who are like all around the same area. It's good to have that like going forward. Definitely as a group, you can accomplish a lot more
For
as
sure.
than just by yourself. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, no.
That's
Actually,
like one
that
of
is
the
kind of nuts.
big
All of
things.
us are East Coast
Yeah.
except for Volantis.
No.
Well, he's-
Even
Can
when I'm
you
in
mesh
Canada, I'm East
myself?
Coast.
He's
Even
East
when I'm in
Coast.
Yeah,
Canada,
when
I'm
you're in
East
Canada,
Coast.
but I'm talking about right now. I'm talking
Yeah,
about right now.
yeah. Right now I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
'Cause I'm
all of us
neither
are pretty
coast.
much East Coast. Yeah,
We're,
neither
we're the
coast.
real East Coast, though. You're just
Yeah.
fake East Coast.
Yeah,
I
you
was
guys are
like-
further east than I am.
Nah,
I get to
no, sus-
experience like real fucking East Coast when I'm there.
yeah, hell yeah.
Like we got our own
Yeah.
special
Yeah.
time zone and everything. We're so far east.
Yeah,
Everyone
Yeah,
was
no,
like, what's an ADT?
Yeah, someone said that and I went, oh.
yeah, that was me. That was me.
knew.
I had no idea what ADT was.
We should try to find like a game that we can do as like a team. I was thinking about it the
Wanna
other
play
day. It's
Venge?
like no, like,
Sounds
no,
good.
like something that's like moderately competitive. That even if we could get into tournaments and be shit, we could still get into tournaments that
And have
get you
fun.
so
Yeah.
yeah.
we
they-
actually have some good players.
Oh,
yeah,
in this
Yeah,
Discord.
like Mish is
Oh, yeah.
essentially a professional Counter-Strike player, but he does
Yeah.
it on the side
He's
now.
he's retired. No, he doesn't. He doesn't
Yeah.
want to compete anymore. But yeah,
Oh, he doesn't? Oh.
no.
yeah. Well,
I know
that's what
him
I'm
and I
saying.
have been playing Valorant together a lot.
I used to
He
do
doesn't
Apex
want to compete
tournaments.
with shit anymore.
When I was playing Apex, I would do Apex tournaments once a month. We would do it was like Alpha Gaming or something like that. I can't remember what they were called, but they were like there was a cash prize. We never won, but like it was a
Yeah.
lot of fun. Just
You see
getting
them
like
pop up in the Discord down below. There's
Yeah.
been a bunch of Splitgate ones so far, but
yeah,
there's a few big Apex ones going on right now, so they haven't had many little ones.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
and I'm currently in the talks with a company called Juka, where
Yeah.
they do like $1,000 prizes, because the guy who runs the thing, like he gets like maybe like 20 viewers on his main like Twitch channel, but he's
Yeah.
a millionaire with an organization. Like all of his like stuff is like verified on like YouTube, Twitter, Google, and everything. Not Google, on Twitch. But he's just I'm trying to get him to work together with us for stuff like that.
yeah, that'd be
but-
sweet, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I think as long as we're doing more like content stuff, it's better for all of us. You know, like games
100%.
together, like party games,
Yeah.
fucking Among Us, Scribblia. I think all that'd be good.
I
Yeah,
think
Warzone. Yeah, I
any
also
game
want to do a
you
lot
can
more
get
Warzone
this
stuff
on.
as well.
you guys are sleeping on this. I'm telling you, this Valheim game is fucking sick, man. And
Told
like
you, I'm
Doctor
more than happy to run it, dude.
Doctor
Yeah,
Lupo
I
is
just can't
playing
get it
that
right
shit
now.
now. No, I know. Yeah,
Yeah.
22 bucks, boys. 22 bucks. Well worth it.
Yeah,
And it's
I'm
just
currently
fun.
just. Yeah, sorry. No, you go ahead.
Yeah, no, just saying, like, well, and it just games like that. Anything that you can get, like, just like well, we just set up like built like a village, like a Viking village, and you just have like, oh, that's this guy's house, and that's like we, it's cool being able to do that. Or it's like when you're just playing these games solo, they're not even like remotely as entertaining to watch, right? Like,
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Especially when what people are watching for. Like, the only reason I can even play Hyperscape right now is because I'm cracked at it. People will just watch you because you're good. They don't watch
Yeah.
it for, which is just what I'm back at now.
No, I think that's changing now, like a little by little at least. I think you're getting a lot more viewers that watch you just for you now. It's not even about
Yeah.
skill anymore.
Yeah.
Changing a bit. I mean, it just depends.
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
I'm
because
doing.
when you got drunk, I think it was yesterday. Like
Yeah.
people
Yeah,
were
like,
watching
dude,
for your
let's be
skill
honest,
then, and you're
yeah.
pulling in 40. Like you're
Yeah.
pulling 40 to 50.
Yeah.
No,
It's
no,
just
no,
for
you-
being
you-
drunk
you-
and roasting
you
the
hit
shit
like
out of people.
you hit 65, right?
Yeah, because I guess
Yeah.
one person came, he brought like a lot of his stream in once they seen like I was doing
Nice.
numbers. They came in to see what I was doing, but I was in his stream making fun of him.
like 100%. And I was like, I use the comparison with like Spellbreak. They've got like the two guys there that are partnered, but like the game only gets like on a good day 500 viewers
Yeah.
in their like average total in the category. So like I think
Mhm.
you're definitely in a position that you can get to partner numbers playing that game, like without a doubt. Even if
Yeah.
the community's small, like it's definitely doable. You know what I mean?
He almost got
Do
that in
some
Venge,
Spellbreak.
dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. He almost hit
close,
partner
man.
numbers in Venge.
Yeah.
Yo, Space, let me tell you something that's kind of insane. Everybody in this call has the potential of getting partnered if we just stick to one game. but none of us stick to one fucking thing.
Can't.
No. Okay. Let me rephrase that.
It's like
That's what I'm
it's-
doing.
There's no
Yeah.
game to stick to. Like, there's
I
no
know,
good
like,
shooter
Venge-
out.
no, like Venge, like that was very close for pretty much all of us, like except for you and I, Volantiss, who were holding like 30, like when everyone else was streaming. But like between Repttars and Mish, and sometimes Tingu, occasionally Tingu, they would pull in like 40 to even 60. I've seen Repttars pull over 80.
I think Tango peaked at around the same as me, 25, 30. I don't
Yeah.
think he's ever hit anything
Us
higher.
us three were around the same.
Yeah.
And when they
Yeah.
run drops on Crunker, like no cap, I've pulled for a stream like 400, 500 viewers for like the whole stream when they were running drops. Like it was absolutely crazy. But like the fact that like the viewership spikes like that when they do special events and shit, like it's definitely like there's much worse games I could be playing for just being able to sit there and chill and talk to chat and like, it doesn't require like a lot. I'm not a pub stomper. Like I'm not in there trying, like if I'm playing off stream at all, I'm doing way better than when I'm on stream. Like I just like, just like going in there and hanging out, and it's a good way to just chat to people and shit. So yeah, no, I'm that's definitely going to be something I'm going to stick with for sure. I don't know, like I'm eventually gonna, try to branch out, and you're gonna take a cut there, but
I think this is the branch as well, just while there's nothing else going on.
Yeah,
play the
this
games.
This is the time I
Just
use
gotta-
to like diversify, just because obviously Venge is what got me affiliate. Venge is what got me to where I am now.
Yeah.
So like all say 750, 730 of my followers are gonna be asking me about Venge. So I was just like, might as well pick a new game now and see how many translate and then move from there.
On Venge list, I was just yelling at people. I had like JTechno rolling. I think he got like 50 messages from kids because I told everybody to message him.
Poor guy.
Man doesn't even stream either. It's funny.
Who, Jay?
Yeah.
He's a dev. He doesn't have to stream.
Oh, I didn't know he was a dev.
I thought he's on the
Talking
team,
shit.
right? Isn't he a helper?
Yeah, he is. He takes care of like, CC stuff. I was talking shit about him, but
Dude.
Yeah.
I know we gotta expand more on YouTube because I know I do animations and we have this podcast, but we really gotta start pushing like the YouTube side of things when it comes to like video content.
I
Dude,
know.
you have no
our-
idea.
our
I've been trying to
stream-
find people for Among Us for forever. I think Among Us
Have you
games.
really?
No, I know. We have like 5, dude. Like that's not enough.
Yeah.
I played a game of Prox Chat Among Us the other night, and it was a lot of fun. Like we got some really good content, just with a bunch of Crunker CCs when we were doing that. But it was that was hilarious, man. Like, but that's like, have you guys ever heard of what the fuck is it called? Project Winter. It's better.
Yeah.
It's honestly better than Among Us.
Yeah.
It is,
But it's hard to watch. It's more fun to play it. Very hard to watch.
Hard to watch.
I tried experimenting with that game for a small time. There's not a lot of viewership in that game unless you're really known for it.
Well, I feel like if you have a community that's watching, I wouldn't do it right now to grow, but like if you're doing like a community stream where like if you had the lobby packed with people that you know,
That's
it
definitely
would be
the one.
it'd be hilarious. Like it'd be fucking hilarious.
No.
Yeah. For
Yeah,
now,
I looked into that game. Because if you go to like a YouTuber who's like has their normal videos, then they do a Project Winter video, you notice their viewership on that specific video is significantly lower than the rest of the views and the rest of the videos.
Well,
like Slime Sickle, for instance, man pulls in like almost 4 million views per video. The man got like almost 900K on that on that video, where the rest of his videos got like millions, and I don't understand.
I want to look because I know Summit did a video about it. Yeah, and you know that game company is actually from Newfoundland.
Are they?
The guys that made Project Winter?
They're from
way.
St.
They're the
John's.
other 3 people. They're the other 3 people of the 20.
Oh. Yeah, there you go. Hit them up, man. Yeah, they're from St. John's, Newfoundland.
Oh damn.
Hey, the podcast is over, right?
I mean, I'm still recording.
He just wants to roll the outro.
Okay.
That's it. Yeah, so play Project Winter. So he played it. Let me see. So yeah, see, like even that, like you said, this is the best game of its kind so far. Literally the title, that he put on it. This is the best game of its kind so far. And he played it with Shroud, and it only got 58K.
Who's Shroud?
Yeah. Dude, Shroud's like one of my best friends.
My boy.
Come on, that's a callback. That's a callback.
Yes.
Yeah.
Guys, ready? Ready?
Oh my god.
I don't know why that. Why did for a split second there it looked like a snake?
It did not
Just
look me on
hairy
camera. It's like
Snake.
How we gonna do an outro for this bad boy?
Oh,
I'm gonna
Just gonna put it at the right
I'll
spot and let it run out.
do it live. Do it
Do it
live.
live.
My back's been killing me, man.
Oh, this reminds me. Do you know Bleezy? Bleezy?
I know Bleezy.
No.
Repttars. You should talk to Bleezy about doing a music duo because he makes
talking to
music
me?
and you're a DJ.
Oh really?
Yeah. Like have you not listened to what's something cat fuck I forgot what it was.
Oh
Glizzy
man,
Cat.
we're recording here, and this does not
Yeah.
belong anywhere near this. It's gonna taint it. All right, boys.
Have you not heard
Thank
of
you
Glizzy
so much
Cat?
for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. In peace.